So let's shuffle on to our next topic, which I think will get a few people excited. A few people obviously will not care. I'm actually on the excited spectrum of this. Tentatively, James Cameron has confirmed multiple movies are in the works of Alita Battle Angel. Now, this is the closest we've gotten to any update on this for a very, very long time, because there's always been backwards and forwards, like lots and lots of backwards and forwards. So before we get to James Cameron's comments, let's have a look and see, what had previously been stated. So John Landau is one of the main producers. So in April, he was asked about it, and he said, "We're working on it. I think what we've learned from Avatar is how much more facial nuance and subtlety we can get into characters that we want to be emotional and emote that are humanoid." And then said, Alita would not have been possible unless we had Avatar, and then Avatar would not have been possible unless we had Alita. So let's put it all back and put it into Alita. We're talking to Robert and talking to Rosa, and all is good. So there wasn't really any update. It was we're talking, right? And then previously to that as well, this is back in December. He says, well, there's a little film called Alita that we'd love to circle back and do a sequel to. We've been talking to Robert about that. Hopefully it comes to fruition. Well, I can't put a time frame on it because you guys would hold it against me. So there's never been anything concrete at all until kind of now. So speaking to Forbes about why he was selling his California ranch, probably because, in shithole country at the moment, or county, Cameron revealed that all of his kids have grown up and are all pretty much out on their own now. But he would also say, and on Avatar, I'm working in Wellington and Los Angeles. And on Avatar, I'm working in Wellington and Los Angeles. And on the new Alita Battle Angel films, I'll be working in Austin. So it just didn't make sense for us anymore. Basically wanted to change locations because he's going to be holed up on 2 films of Alita Battle Angel. I mean, this is the most solid we've got of an update, because previous to this, there have not been any realistically. It's just those tiny little stuff from John Landau. But a lot of this stuff with James Cameron, you've got to take with a pinch of salt. So what do we think? I mean, what did we think of the first one? Do you think this is any solidity behind this? Excited? Yay or nay? What do you think, Chris?
I mean, it's been 4 years, right? And since the last one. That one came out in 2019. And this really, it's like you either like this or you didn't like it. It wasn't it was, some people really loved it. And I was in that camp, I would like to see another one. I think there's room for it. I'd like to see it better, with some better technology, which obviously they're doing. Cameron usually comes through. I'm not a huge fan of his Avatar stuff, honestly, if I'm being fair.
Yeah.
I never even saw the most recent one, but I would see this. I would go to see this for sure.
Tom?
Is Rodriguez attached to this? Do we even know?
As far as I know, yeah, because that's the last time I personally remember hearing anything about it. Was when Robert was talking about his whole thing with Star Wars was kind of, he was playing, he literally said it, and I'm paraphrasing, but in so many words, like he was playing nice for Disney in hopes that it would grease the wheels a little bit for an Alita sequel. And the other thing I think it was kind of hinging on was how well Avatar did, which most people expected it to do well anyway. But I'm assuming why we're hearing this now is because the checks are starting to come in for Avatar.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Hope so, yeah.
Well, I mean, if there's one good thing that came from Avatar, because it's a fucking garbage film, maybe it's the fact that we're going to get Alita films now, because it did pretty well on. It didn't make money, right? It barely broke even, if that, which is a shame, you know.
Word of mouth helped it get that far.
Yeah, it did really well on home video. Did really, really, really well on home video. I like that film. I'd like to see. It was just a wholesome film with good action. Rosa Salazar is a great actor as well. She's incredible. She was in it was like some Netflix thing, some like weird horror, bizarre horror thing. Can't remember what it's called. Cherry something flavor or something like that. But she's really, really good.
No, that's the Amazon series.
No, she was in a Netflix series. It was something that's cherry flavor.
Oh, brand new cherry flavor. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. And she was great in that. She's a great actress. I'd like to see her she was really likable as this, and I'd like to see her back in it. So yeah, hopefully, I'd like to see Edward Norton fulfill his villain tease. That'd be funny.
Well, they've got to figure out how to make money, and that's the thing. It being a sequel, if you didn't see the first one, you're not going to probably go to see this. And there's always some diminishing returns when you do your sequel. Like not 100% of the people that saw the first one will go see the second one.
Yeah.
So they got to figure out how to make it cheaper, to build it cheaper, and then they can potentially do it. And you know, every time Cameron does more work with Avatar, somehow he figures out how to do this animation cheaper, right?
Yeah. Well, that is true, right? So that is part of it. Is that was part of why something to do with the budgets of Avatar, they get cheaper as they get into the movies because the technology or something like that. And so if they're just transferring the technology straight over to Alita, then that will bring the budget down tenfold.
I think a lot of this, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but I own a video production company, and there are ways to cut costs. And I think you have to be very mindful of how you can exploit all the time you have with particular actors, all the time you have on shoot days and editing, and of course the technology, this being all animated. Cameron, he cut his teeth on Piranha 2. So if anybody can figure out how to make this cheaper or more cheaply, it's him. And I would hope that they could do it. I know Rodriguez is very passionate about this project. I wasn't impressed with what he did wasn't he on the Boba Fett or was he on the Mandalorian? I can't remember, but I don't remember being impressed at all. But
nothing impressive with that show.
But the thing is Rodriguez, depending on what it is, man, like Desperado is still one of my favorite put it on and let it play movies. It's great, right? Yeah. And I think that when it's something he's really passionate about and not just doing something for a corporate giant like Disney, it's good. And like Mr. H said, it's a wholesome movie, and it was well done, and it looked great. And I think they should lean into it. But I think marketing wise, maybe they ought to do some kind of push for the first one again, to kind of re-release on home video or something, just to kind of warm up people to the idea before they come out with this one. Look at Tom. Here we go.
I just got that in the mail.
Nice. I love your physical media collection, sir. Physical media.
The Boba Fett show is what I was talking about. Like Robert, in his excuse, he basically said, like, I only did that show as a favor to Favreau and to hopefully grease the wheels with Disney.
Yeah.
Basically. And I think that was his kind of excuse of saying, that's why it fucking sucks, because I had nothing to do with it, really.
Do you say that publicly, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, at least he's honest with it. I got to give him that.
I'll give him that. Yeah. I don't know if it helps. But.
No, it definitely doesn't help. But you know what? I'd rather have a lot of these guys just come out and say, I knew it sucked. I'm sorry.
Give us Alita 2. I'm good with it. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be keen to see Alita 2. I think, I'd be very keen for
First one was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's just a harmless movie. Like, just pretty decent. I don't know. I like it.
And from what I heard, they're wanting to do 2 more.
Well, supposedly, I mean, that's what it sounds like. I mean, he's saying movies. So, but that also sounds like James Cameron's on board. But then this is the thing. Do you take what he's saying on face value or with a pinch of salt? Because James Cameron has said a lot across the years.
Sure.
He's also apparently said he was working on a Terminator movie recently.
Well, look, he's Canadian. You must remember he's Canadian. So there's no telling what he means. But that's what I'm getting at. I think that he's out there probably pitching for money. Right. Look, we'll do this back to back. We'll do them both back to back. We'll finish this out as a trilogy. We'll save a lot of money. We'll make it on the back end. So a lot of this stuff that they say in the press there's a motive behind it. It's not just being said off the cuff. There's a reason they're saying this.
Chris isn't wrong. It also gets people talking inside the studio too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they get a gauge on how popular something might be. But that's my understanding of it so far at this point. Because to answer your original question you asked me, Nate, I've never actually seen the whole movie. I only watched half of it. And I'm like, and I just quit watching it. Never came back to it. It wasn't like I hated it or anything. I just something happened or what got in the way, life, and I just never went back to it. I never had the desire to finish it. So
that's too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if that speaks to
I'd
the movie
recommend
or not,
it,
but
no, I
just got to finish watching it one of these days. That's all. Because I actually like what's his face, Christoph Waltz. I really like him as an actor.
He's great.
I thought he was probably one of Tarantino's greatest discoveries, even though he didn't discover him. He was a German actor for years or whatever. But I mean, as far as bringing him to the American public,
no, I completely agree.